complicated, sad, lacking motivation. These are just a few ways I would describe my relationship with my E92 M3. And that's lame because not only is the E9X M3 generation some of the best BMWs BMW ever made, but I am lucky enough to own one of these cars. And for the past year or so, it's pretty much just been sitting and rotting away, which you guys saw in this opening sequence of the episode. But that's going to change today. In today's episode, we're going to get the car back up and running. And hopefully by the time it is, I will sort of have reignited my motivation to want to work on that car, because behind the scenes, I have been buying some parts, some really cool parts that need to go on the car or I want to put on the car. And my E36 M3 track project has consumed all of my attention, my time, my finances, and I want to change that. I want to get the E92 M3 running. I want to drive it the way it's supposed to be driven. And so step one is getting it back up and running and, you know, assessing after that what else it's going to need, and then installing these really cool parts that I have for the car. So enough talking. Let's dive into getting the E92 M3 back up and running again. Here we go. All right, so we got the battery in. It was quite the adventure, as you saw, to just even get into the trunk and get access to the battery. But now that the battery's in, I have to program it to the car. I haven't done this before, but I'm just using my Foxwell scanner. Hopefully this is able to do it, but let's see if we can get into it. All right, so we got the battery coded and registered, and now the car starts, no problems. So moving on to the next issue I'm having, if you can see, I have an ABS fault, and the code is just for a driver's rear wheel speed sensor. I already have it, so we're gonna toss that in and clear the code, and then hopefully the car won't be in limp mode anymore, and I can take it on its first test drive in like 9 months since I drove it last. So yeah, let me toss that sensor in, and then we will see if the car does not go into limp mode anymore. now that the battery is replaced and I got the wheel speed sensor installed, moving along to the next project to getting this thing back on the road. It's kind of hard to see, but one of the reasons why I haven't driven this car in as long as I have is because late last year I got hit in the door. Like I said, it's kind of hard to see, but they basically hit like this area of the door. And while I was trying to figure out what to do with it, I wasn't really motivated to want to drive the car. It being messed up and just, it wasn't ideal to take it out and have it look like this, at least in my mind. But what I ended up opting to do is, instead of trying to pay to get this like PDR'd, I did go and get a quote, and there's some like pretty sharp spots that like would have need to be fixed. What I instead did is I just bought another door. I was able to find a same color door off of a 335. Every single panel on these cars is unique from the base models to the M models, except the doors and the trunk. And so I was able to find a door, thankfully in the same color, for far cheaper than it was going to cost to try to get this fixed. And so that's what we're going to be doing, is just swapping this door out entirely. I got to take all of the components off because I have comfort access and the door that I'm putting on doesn't have comfort access. And I just kind of want everything that was on this car to stay on this car minus the door. So that's what we're going to be replacing. I have to figure out kind of how to get the door off of the car. I've never done this before, so you guys are going to kind of be learning that with me. But yeah, that's what we're doing next. All right, I have the door officially swapped and put onto the car, and over here I have everything out of the replacement door. I mentioned a little earlier that my car is a comfort access car, and this door was off of a car that wasn't a comfort access car, which means that I needed to swap the door handle and the wire harness, because this door wasn't going to have everything it needed to retain the comfort access function. And I figured, if I'm going to take a bunch of stuff out of this door, I might as well just replace everything I can, because I don't know how old this door is. It might be a little older than my car, and all of my parts were working. So I figured might as well just keep the parts that were working from my original door and put it into this door. So I have this completely stripped. There's nothing left on it in need of replacement. Everything is out. And then I'm just going to take everything from my old door, toss it in here, make sure everything lines up and works, and then we can call this job done. All right, so everything is put back on the door officially. Everything is adjusted and on permanently. And as you can see, the comfort access works. So that's pretty much it for the door stuff. No more dent, thankfully. I think I have one more mod for this video, and then we can kind of take this thing out for the first time in probably like a year and go get some cool shots of it and call this video done officially. So let's hop into the engine bay for the last thing I got going on. All right, that's going to do it. The E92 M3 officially lives again, and we can finally start taking it out and enjoying it like it's meant to be enjoyed. That being said, like I said earlier in the episode, I have some really cool stuff that I have planned for the car. I have some interior stuff in the works. I have some suspension stuff in the works. And so if you don't want to miss any of that, if you don't want to miss future E92 M3 uploads, consider hitting that subscribe button, turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next episode. But until then, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it as always. I'll catch you in the next one.